My people, something just shake for Nigeria, and if you think you have seen it all, wait until you hear this latest gist. You know that topic that never seems to go away, the matter of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Now hold your breath, because we have a new twist that I bet you didn't see coming. Now, before we dive into this new drama, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell. You don't want to miss any part of this unfolding story. Let's get straight into it. For the past few months, the conversation around Nnamdi Kanu has been hot. On one side, we have voices, mainly from the southeast, like the All Igbo Youth Forum, who have been strongly demanding his release. In fact, they even threatened to boycott the 2027 elections if he is not freed. They have been in discussions with government officials, giving a timeline for his release. On the other side, we had some northern groups making their stance very clear. Just last month, in October 2025, the Northern Nigeria Youth Leaders Forum, or NNYLF, came out strongly to warn politicians like former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and activist Omoyele Sowore to stop calling for Kanu's release. They said they would not stand by and watch Kanu's ordeal be used as a chessboard for political campaigns. Their president, Motale Gamji, said Kanu's case should be left to the courts, and even announced a plan for a massive solidarity march in Abuja to support President Tinubu's agenda, countering the planned protests for Kanu. Another group, the Northern Youth Frontiers, also berated Atiku, calling his support for Kanu's release deeply inconsistent and a disregard for the lives lost due to the crisis. So the line was drawn and the positions were clear, or so we thought. Now, here is the headline that is changing the game. Massive turnaround. Northern youths declare support for Nnamdi Kanu. It is a right after all. Can you imagine? This is a complete 180-degree turn. This is not just a small shift. It is a seismic change in the narrative. For years, the narrative has often been set along regional and ethnic lines. But if this headline is true, it means that the conversation is evolving. It suggests that a new generation is looking beyond old divisions. What could have caused this? Is it a growing frustration with the current state of the nation? Is it a shared feeling of marginalization that is making young people from different regions see a common cause? This is a powerful development that could have significant implications for the political landscape in Nigeria. Now, while we are on the topic of major shifts, let's connect this to another big story that is shaking the international scene, because it all ties into the complex issue of security and unity in Nigeria. Right now, the world is talking about Nigeria because of US President Donald Trump's recent threats of a possible US military invasion over claims of a Christian genocide. This has sparked a huge debate. But here is the interesting part. Many Nigerians and even the African Union chief are pushing back against this simple story. The African Union chief, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, has clearly said, "There is no genocide in northern Nigeria," explaining that the first victims of groups like Boko Haram are actually Muslims, and the situation is far more complex than just religion. Even victims of the violence in the Middle Belt, like Christian farmer Lawrence Jongo, who has lost many relatives, acknowledge that Muslims are also being killed and have said they do not want foreign intervention. They blame the government for a failed security system. So, what does this teach us? It shows us that the real situation on the ground in Nigeria is often more complicated than the simple stories we are told, whether from outside or inside the country. And this brings us back to our main gist. If this new headline about northern youths supporting Nnamdi Kanu is true, it fits into this pattern of breaking down old, simple narratives. It suggests that many young people are beginning to see that the real issues might be about governance, justice, and economic opportunity for all rather than the old divisions. Think about it. Many young people across the north are facing the same challenges as young people in the southeast, south, and southwest. I'm talking about a lack of jobs, rising cost of living, and a feeling that the political system is not working for them. When you are struggling to find work after graduating from university, or when you see constant insecurity in your own region, the issues start to look less like an Eastern problem or a Northern problem and more like a Nigerian problem. This potential alliance, if it is genuine, could be built on a shared frustration. It's no longer just about Biafra. It could be becoming a symbol for a broader demand for justice, equity, and a total restructuring of the country. The northern youths might be looking at Kanu's long detention and starting to see it as a symbol of the oppression that all ordinary Nigerians face, regardless of their tribe or religion. They might be thinking, if the government can do this to him, they can do it to anyone. This is a powerful and unifying sentiment. But, and this is a very big but, we must also be cautious. In Nigeria, we know that not everything is as it seems. We have to ask ourselves, is this a genuine change of heart from the grassroots? Or could there be other forces at play? Sometimes political interests can stir up such narratives to create confusion or to gain leverage in negotiations. The real test will be to see if this declaration leads to concrete joint actions between these youth groups from different regions. Will we see them issuing joint statements, organizing peaceful rallies together? That is when we will know this is a real shift and not just another headline. This is why your voice is so important in this conversation. What do you think is really happening? Do you believe this new support is genuine? Have you noticed other signs of young people from different tribes uniting over common struggles? Drop your comments below and let's have a family discussion. This is how we understand the true picture. Now, before we go further, let me remind you, my wonderful audience. If you are enjoying this deep dive into this national issue, if you are learning something new, then you know what to do. Please take a second to like this video. It helps the channel grow immensely. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you are the first to know when we drop part 3 of this discussion. We are building a community here for intelligent and peaceful dialogue. Let's think about the bigger picture for a moment. This isn't just about one man, Nnamdi Kanu. This is about the soul of Nigeria. For decades, the easiest way to control the population has been to divide us, North versus South, Christian versus Muslim, Igbo versus Yoruba versus Hausa. But what happens when that strategy stops working? What happens when the youth, who are the majority of this country, begin to see through the divisions and recognize their common enemy, which is often bad governance, poverty, and lack of opportunity? This is the potential significance of this headline. It is a crack in the wall of division. It is a signal that a new consciousness might be emerging. It doesn't mean everyone agrees with Nnamdi Kanu's methods or his entire message. But it could mean that more people are beginning to listen to the underlying grievances he has been talking about. Grievances that many communities across Nigeria can relate to in one way or another. The future of Nigeria will be shaped by whether this crack widens into a doorway for a new united generation, or if the old forces of division will manage to seal it up again. This is a story we will continue to follow very closely. The coming days and weeks will be critical. We will be watching for official statements, for press conferences, and for reactions from other parts of the country. So stay with me. Make sure you are subscribed because the next update on this massive turnaround will be even more explosive. Let me know in the comments what specific questions you have about this development, and I will do my best to address them. Thank you for watching, and always remember, let's keep the conversation respectful and enlightening. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.